For each of man's evils, a demon exists. You're looking at vengeance, cruel, devious, pure as venom, vengeance. The character Haggis was seen in a few Pumpkinhead movies. She's been linked to the creature as the one who conjures it during a ritual. Her past was never explored in the films, but in 2008, Dynamite Entertainment would publish a new comic book series. The story was spread over 5 issues, and it gave us a deeper look into how Haggis became known as the Old Witch of the Woods. It opens up in Bradley Mountain a long time ago. An old woman is surrounded by a group of girls. They are sent out to Razorback Holler to search and find the grave that calls out to them. These bodies will be the ones each of them will watch over throughout their lives. As the others find the one meant for them, Haggis looks up and moves closer to the one above. For each of man's evils, a special demon exists. Now, in the present time, we meet the local sheriff in Wrightson Mills. She's been looking at a hit-and-run incident that happened recently. The victim's family, the Kincaids, are not helping her with any information. She thinks they might take matters into their own hands and seek their own form of justice. We get to meet a prisoner named Bunt, a local man who knows what's going to happen. Vengeance is coming for whoever hurt them kids. Over at Black Ridge, Haggis is visited by Ernst Kincaid. He brings the bodies of family members that passed away from the hit-and-run incident. He says to her, "I want vengeance." Clayton is the man responsible for this incident. He is being protected by Lucas until his father arrives to take him back to Memphis. But a woman named Bedelia knows there's something out there. Everyone should be on the edge, especially Clayton. And shortly after, Pumpkinhead shows up in a barn and starts his attack on the nearby men in search of the one who is marked, Clayton. As part of the ritual to bring forth Pumpkinhead, the one who wants vengeance shall see the outcome of their victims through the eyes of Pumpkinhead. Ernst Kincaid will feel the pain and torment of those who wronged him. Pumpkinhead finds his way into the house where Clayton is staying. The woman there, Bedelia, calls out the creature's name, Pumpkinhead. She knows what this creature is. She says, it's vengeance made flesh. She, along with Lucas and Clayton, escape and make their way to Nettie's home. Anyone who grants Clayton sanctuary will also be marked. So they devise a plan to fight back and call upon their own demons that they were meant to watch over. These women were the same girls from the beginning of the story. They see each other as sisters amongst this group. Each demon would represent a sin of man: pride, greed, envy, lust, and sloth. Mildred was the 7th member of this group. She called upon her demon one time, but it went out of control, feeding on anything it found. Mildred was not fit to control it, and the demon turned on her. Bedelia explains these demons actually want to get rid of Pumpkinhead. They are jealous in how often vengeance is called upon, while the other demons are left forgotten. Despite taking damage to its body, Pumpkinhead is able to heal any wounds and continue his onslaught. 3 demons would fight against Pumpkinhead, while the other 2 would look for Ernst Kincaid and Haggis. If you're wondering what Razorback Holler is, it's not only the resting place of Pumpkinhead, but it's a graveyard for many other demons of hell. One of the demons chases Haggis through the woods, but Pumpkinhead finds her and fights the other demon. The battle is short and ends with Pumpkinhead getting a sharp weapon impaled into his back. But this only slows him down as he rises once again and tracks down 4 other demons. Another battle occurs with 4 of them taking on Pumpkinhead alone. It gets to a point when the sheriff meets up with Haggis, and together they try to find the other women who called up the other demons. There's even a point when Ed Harley was mentioned. The character Bunt is most likely the one from the first movie. They track down the other sisters of Haggis, and she takes it upon herself to eliminate all of them quickly. This breaks the connection they have with the other demons, and all that's left is Pumpkinhead. It will not stop until it finds its mark. Shortly after, Clayton is captured by the demon and eliminated. It is done. After this, Ernst Kincaid starts to fade away. He got his justice. The sheriff tries to stop Haggis from taking Pumpkinhead's tiny body, but Haggis tells her, "You cannot stop vengeance. No matter how hard you try, it will crawl out of hell on its own." With her sisters now gone, Haggis becomes the watcher over all the other demons. Someone needs to keep their hand on the leash. It's a terrible burden, but it's one she's been counting on since she was a little girl. You cannot stop vengeance, no matter how hard you try. The end. Since we're talking about the comic books here, I might as well mention the unfinished series in 1993. Pumpkinhead appeared in 2 issues called Pumpkinhead, The Rites of Exorcism. It was published by Dark Horse Comics. Only 2 issues were released at the time. There was going to be a 3rd called Pumpkinhead, The Metamorphosis. There was a 4th issue planned as well, but the last 2 were not officially released. The story focused on a woman named Maria, who meets up with Haggis, the witch from the original movie. Maria is due to take the place of the guardian of the dark secret. This is the position Haggis has maintained throughout her life. After her birth, Maria's body and soul were sold to Haggis in exchange for her family to receive a lifetime of rich harvest. Maria plans to run away with a man named David. She ends up teaching David the ritual to bring up Pumpkinhead, but she gets killed by thugs, and David takes it upon himself to get revenge. One part in the story changes the mythology of it being a demon. It says Pumpkinhead is very old. According to prehistoric cave paintings, it could belong to a species that walked this earth as far back as 3 million years. The title of this comic book series, The Rites of Exorcism, is linked to a new character named Angus Brenner. He tells David he was once like him, connected to Pumpkinhead, but somehow he was able to break free. He's in town searching for those like him, but the rest of the story was linked to issues 3 and 4, which was not released in the same manner. A winged version of Pumpkinhead was going to be featured in issue number 3, but the last 2 issues, number 3 and 4, were never officially released. In 1991, Geometric Designs created a Pumpkinhead model kit. It was in a burnt-out church. This model was discontinued in 1994 when they revealed a new version with wings. This one was called Pumpkinhead, The Metamorphosis. It shared the same title as the 3rd comic book issue. It also says that it came with a copy of the cancelled comic book sequel. I read online that this copy were issues 3 and 4, but they were condensed into one book, so this might have been the only way to get it. And as to the reason why this creature is called Pumpkinhead, it was inspired by a poem written by Ed Justin. He is credited for being a writer, but only because a part of his poem is placed into the script. The poem itself was not written for the movie in 1988. A short version of it was used for the first film, but if you want to hear the full version, here it is. Keep away from Pumpkinhead, unless you're tired of living. His enemies are mostly dead. He's mean and unforgiving. Laugh at him and you're undone, but in some dreadful fashion. Vengeance he considers fun, and plans it with a passion. Time will not erase or blot a plot that he has brewing. It's when you think that he's forgot, he'll conjure your undoing. Bolted doors and windows barred, guard dogs prowling in your yard, won't protect you in your bed. Nothing will, from Pumpkinhead. So that covers the lore around Haggis, the old witch of the woods. It explains how she became the Watcher of the Demons in Razorback Holler. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, then subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. This way, you get notified when I upload a video. I've also covered other franchises in film, so check out my playlist on lore and history. You might find something else to watch. It's filled with topics on comic books, film, video games, and novels. I would appreciate a like rating before you go. I'm always looking into other franchises, so stay tuned for more content like this. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel. My name is Acid Glow, and I'll see you next time.